now, Gavin. Very good. Another good finish by Seamus, obviously, last night. He's playing some serious golf at the moment, which is great to see. All the hard work is paying off. If you look at last night, and the tournament as a whole, I think Joaquin Niemann became the third person ever, I think, in PGA Tour history to record a 72 holes with no bogey. And Seamus had only one bogey in 72 holes, so he is playing. He's playing very, very well. If you look at the last 9 tournaments that he's played in, he's made the cut on each of the occasions. And I think even particularly at the Byron Nelson a few weeks ago, he had a chance a very slim chance to win. And a lot of players in his kind of position, based on the rankings where they are, might have just looked around the scoreboards and consolidated their positions and say, look, if I get a top 10, I'll get into the next event. But not Seamus, you went for it. It didn't come off, but that's no problem. It just shows that where his mind and where his head is at the moment. Consequently, he did have to then Monday qualify a couple of weeks later for another tournament. And I suggest to all the listeners out there, if they go on Twitter and go to Monday Q School. Monday Q School is basically, there's 3 spots for the event that's on that week on the PGA Tour, and about 100 or 120 players play. Now, normally, or nearly 99% of the time, a score of 64, about 800 par, will just about get you into the tournament. So people teeing up know if they shoot 65, 66, 67 and onwards, they will not get in. So this is serious golf. And, I mean, he's under tremendous pressure each and every week, but he's performing. And I'd equate it to pressure in terms of major championships on what those players feel, because he's playing for his career to get these 15 events as well, to try and get into 15 events, and that then keeps his PGA Tour pension pot opened up as well. So some serious golf. I actually just texted him there about an hour ago, and he's driving on the way to the John Deere in Illinois, because he finished in the top 10 last night. And I certainly think that the victory is not too far away. And a lot of that, I think, goes back to the Byron Nelson a few weeks ago, where he had that very slim chance to win and decided to put the foot in the gas and say, right, here I am, I'm going to take my chance. It didn't come off, but he's playing just brilliant golf since.
He certainly is playing with that swagger of confidence as well, and as you say, Ian, probably putting himself under that pressure as well, but what he's been through in terms of injuries and things as well, he's just really kind of, playing with a huge level swagger of confidence really at the minute, isn't he?
Yeah, well, I mean, people might not know, he had a wrist injury. He missed the first 3 cuts of kind of the calendar year. Now, in terms of the wraparound season, he missed a couple of cuts at the end of last year as well. But the last time he missed a cut was back in, I think, mid-February, and only just at Pebble Beach. And ever since then, really, he has been on a really good run. And look, if there's a lot of stats out there that kind of track the performance of players. But if you look at Seamus's in particular, around the green and approach the green, he's in 34th place overall. Now, in around the green, he's 6th. So, and he's hitting, I think at the weekend, he hit 78% of fairways. So they are fantastic stats. Now, people might look at putting in terms of the weekend and go, well, he was down in 97th. But because you're hitting more greens, you're never going to make as many putts. So I think those figures, and off the tee as well, which was a bit of a struggle for him over the last few years, his distance is up there. It's not as high as maybe the Bryson DeChambeau's, but you don't need it. If you're averaging about 300 yards these days on the PGA Tour, you're flying. But his accuracy is a lot better this year. And as I said, that approach to the green, and particularly at the weekend, 78% of greens, you're up mid to the top 10 in terms of statistics there.
Yeah, certainly great stuff indeed. He's certainly putting Tourneen on the map, no doubt, and great messages coming through, I suppose, over the weekend, as always, I suppose, when he is in action. And as you say, Ian, a busy couple of weeks now, that continual improvement, and of course just trying to get that hands on that PGA Tour card now, I suppose that's the big thing really, isn't it?
I think it is, but you know what? I think he's got his head looking at, I think in his head he's looking at winning.
Right.
I can't see why he wouldn't. Yeah. He's put himself there. I mean, the last 3 or 4 weeks he's there. He's had to qualify, as I was saying earlier on, shooting 64, 65. He's consistently playing well. And his final round scores, and maybe his weekend scores, are become lower as well. On the John Deere this week, I mean, there's going to be an excellent field there as well up in Illinois. But, there is a couple of open championship spots available. So again, I think if he was to put himself up in the top 5, he might find himself on a plane doing the transatlantic flight for Royal St George's next week. I really wouldn't put it past him, and I'd be pretty sure again that another good week this week. And I think at the moment he's got about 5 more starts, depending, I suppose, on results. He has 5 more starts. So, if he can keep this momentum going, he'll get a few more starts. He's up to 140th on the FedEx Cup. 125 is the cutoff. He just missed out last year. So, yeah, as you were saying, I suppose, in that initial point there, securing the card, getting into that 125, and after that, then it's kind of feeling a little bit, because you've got that 125, you can just play without pressure. But just looking at him and looking at the last 6 or 7 weeks, he's thriving on the pressure. And I can't see a win being too far off, which is, very, very exciting to have a Waterman there up at the best in the world, competing and beating them every week. It's great for the country, it's great for Waterford.
It certainly is indeed. Lovely note to end on, and we're all very proud of him here in Waterford as well. Ian St. John, brilliant insight and analysis. Really appreciate you taking the call, and looking forward to catching up with you over the next couple of weeks.
Cheers, Gav. Thanks.